Sup, you beautiful bastards. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about today, one of the most requested stories of the day today, is a story around 26-year-old Chrissy Chambers. Now, you might know her as one half of the YouTube channel Bria and Chrissy, but this isn't really a YouTube story. Back in 2013, when their channel was just beginning to grow, someone made Chrissy aware that there was a video of her floating around online. Someone was posting links to it on their channel, posting it to fans, calling Chrissy a slut, a bad role model, a horrible person. And so Chrissy does a Google search and eventually finds the video that everyone was talking about. It ends up being a sex tape of her and her ex-boyfriend, but get this, Chrissy had no idea that this video ever existed, saying not only did her boyfriend at the time not get consent to film them having sex, she didn't consent to sex. According to Chrissy, after 9 months of dating this guy, she decides to end their relationship. She says on their last day together, he suggests a night of drinking, she ends up blacking out, and that was when the video was recorded, saying he was rough with her and she looked unconscious. Then, a few months later, Chrissy finds out that there are more videos. 6 videos in total get posted online between 2011 and 2012. And this was years after her relationship had ended with him. Apparently, the ex had uploaded them to a porn site, including her full name and age, while of course not showing his own face. And the videos eventually ended up on around 35 different sites. So Chrissy decides to pursue charges, but ends up having trouble finding anyone that could help her with her case. This because the videos were shot in Georgia, where revenge porn has been criminalized since 2014, but the videos were actually uploaded in the UK, so they fell under British law. Now in the UK, as of April 2015, it was a criminal offense to post sexual images without consent. But unfortunately, that law did not apply in Chrissy's case, since the videos were uploaded before this was a law. So there was essentially no way she could pursue criminal charges, but she realized that she can sue for civil damages. With the situation as it was, it appeared that this was really the only way she could get some justice. So in March of 2016, she sues her ex for breach of confidence, misuse of private information, and harassment. And the huge news this week is that yesterday, Wednesday, she made legal history in the UK by becoming the first victim of revenge porn to win civil damages in a public settlement. Now, thanks to the terms of the settlement, the man cannot be named, the amount of damages paid to Chambers cannot be disclosed, but on that note, her lawyer said the sum is substantial. Also, as part of the settlement, the ex has agreed to destroy any remaining images in his possession, as well as hand over the copyright of the uploaded film. This meaning that Chrissy can now demand that sites hosting the material delete it. And speaking outside the courtroom, Chrissy said this:
"To every victim of this horrific kind of attack, I am here to say, you can fight back, and you can win. You will heal and move on, and you will not have to take those steps alone. For anyone who has been living in fear of revenge porn being used against you, there has never been a better time to come forward. You can find support, and you can achieve justice."
And then after making the statement, she proposed to her girlfriend. And ultimately where I land on this is I find it incredibly unfortunate that this guy is not going to have to serve a day in jail. I do truly hope that it is a substantial settlement, so it does hurt him in one way, and hopefully this does give Chrissy closure. And the reason for that is while the ex may delete the images and he's handing over the copyright, that's gonna be out there forever. I mean, she can have the website pull videos, but the internet is the internet. Once it's there forever. It's gonna be on hard drives, people are gonna torrent it, especially since this has gotten so much news coverage. There are gonna be people like going out of their way to be an asshole. But with all of that said, I do want to pass the question off to you. What do you think that the punishment should be for revenge porn? Obviously, as we've seen in this story and outside of it, a lot of countries are updating their laws for this problem. What do you think we should be looking at here? Then we got an update on the hijab cutting hoax story out of Canada. We talked about it earlier this week. An 11-year-old girl came forward saying a man came up to her twice with scissors cutting her hijab. It was a press conference, it became international news, then it was found out to have just not happened. Really no explanation other than it didn't happen, case closed, let's move on. But the update gives us some answers, but not all answers. The family of the 11-year-old girl released a statement saying, "We are deeply sorry for the pain and anger that our family has caused in the past several days. When our young daughter told the school that she was attacked by a stranger, the school reacted with compassion and support, as did the police. When we arrived at the school on Friday, we were informed what happened and assumed it to be true just like everyone else. We only went public because we were horrified that there was such a perpetrator who may try to harm someone else." Then they say deeply sorry, our apologies to every Canadian. We look forward to closing this difficult chapter and providing support to our children. And so essentially all we really learned from this is the family saying they didn't know the truth when this child was speaking to the media. We still don't have the answers of how do they find out the truth. Did the police have to investigate? Did the little girl just fess up? Also, why did this kid lie? Did they just want attention? Was there someone, but then they just exaggerated the story? As far as people calling for there to be charges brought against the family or the child, the police have said that there are going to be no charges here. And so there you have it, just a weird, vague ending that gives you no closure. It's like one of those award-winning movies that it just cuts to black and you go, that's the end? What happened? What was the the point of this 100-minute adventure? And then they say, well, the ending, it's like it's supposed to make you think, and whatever you think happens. No. I didn't pay LA ticket prices to use my imagination. Asterisk to this opinion, the end of Inception, still amazing. Watch that movie in a theater, one of the best crowd reactions ever. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome, brought to you by DeFrancoElite.com. If you want to support the show as it is, what we are building, if you want exclusive stuff, early stuff, posters, mugs, all the good stuff, go to DeFrancoElite.com, subscribe, because this video is probably going to get demonetized for a story we're going to cover in a minute. And the first bit of awesome is we got a brand new trailer for Tomb Raider. I think it's far better than the first one. Obviously, with any movie/gaming franchise, you're always a little worried about the movie. I mean, looking at this movie, I was already excited for Alicia Vikander. Seeing Walton Goggins in it, yes, 100% yes, he sells me on it. Then we got a really interesting video from Seeker about how US nuclear missiles are still controlled by floppy disks. A thing that the newest generation just sees as the save icon. Then we got a trailer for The Mechanism. The Slow-Mo guys came out with a how a TV works in slow motion video. Then we had Nintendo seemingly making the most Nintendo move they made in years by announcing the Nintendo Labo, a build and play experience for the Nintendo Switch. Making a little piano, got a cute little Switch house. Fishing with this thing I will 100% never build properly. Yeah, this little thing, although I will say this ridiculous backpack punching robot thing, whatever the hell that is, I am equal parts, that is the stupidest damn thing I've ever seen, and also I want to put that on my back and try it out right now. And I feel like this is the embodiment of a very important business principle. When everyone's going one way, there's an opportunity over here. Like all the other guys are going like 4K, VR, and Nintendo's like, here's some cardboard, make some shit. We got giant sandbox games where you can do anything. Do you like crafts? But the more that I look at it, the more I do get excited, especially because I have a small child that's almost 4. This is gonna blow his mind. And if you wanna see the full versions of everything, I just shared the secret link of the day, anything at all. Links, as always, are in the description down below. And then, my oh my, let's talk about Harley Barber. Harley is a student at the University of Alabama. She is an Alpha Phi sorority sister. And she recently came under fire on the internet because of a video that she uploaded to Instagram. And based off of the description I gave around Harley, you can probably imagine where this is going to go.
With the poor people going on, and we do not waste water. We don't waste water because of people in Syria. I love how I act like black people. I love how I act like I love black people because I fucking hate niggers. So that's really interesting. I fucking hate niggers, but I just saved the fucking niggers by shutting that water off. So jump on it, jump on this, jump on this, jump on this, jump on. That's like I'm gonna probably jump on your man with my fucking woo in Syria.
That's so disappointing and disgusting. I almost feel like I should offer an apology. I don't know her. Just seeing the confidence behind that dumb bitch racism. Now we've seen stories like this in the past. Someone posts something like this. They go, I'm drunk. That's not me. I apologize. Well, Harley, after getting heat for her original video, releases this response.
Sorority. I've wanted to be an Alpha Phi since I was fucking in high school, and nobody fucking understands how much I love Alpha Phi. And now someone wants to stake my finta because I said nigger. You know what? Nigger, nigger, nigger. No, I don't care if it's Martin Luther King Day. Nigger, nigger, nigger. I'm in the South now, bitch. So everyone can fuck off. I'm from New Jersey. So I can say nigger as much as I want. Nigger, nigger, nigger. And if anyone else wants to fucking snake me on my fucking finsta for saying nigger, I'm in a fur vest. I want you to buy my fucking fur vest. Cause fuck you. Go to Neiman Marcus and buy my fucking fur vest. Cause fuck you. If you fucking snake me to my fucking sorority, that means fucking everything to me. Because fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Alright, and the people that are offended by this video are angry for 2 reasons. 1, the blatant, disgusting racism. And or 2, that she didn't end that Insta video with Roll Tide. I like that it appears that Harley thinks that she's the victim here because someone told on her. Now in response to this incident and the outrage around it, the University of Alabama released a statement saying these remarks are ignorant and disturbing and in no way reflect the values of the University of Alabama. This unfortunate behavior has been reported to the Office of Student Conduct as it does not align with the community expectations of students at the capstone. Also, Alpha Phi making a statement saying, Alpha Phi is a diverse, values-based organization and condemns the language and opinions in these videos. They are offensive and hateful to both our own members and to other members of the Greek and campus community. Ms. Barber is no longer a member of Alpha Phi. Also, the University of Alabama has said that she is no longer a student at the school. Harley Barber has now also responded saying, I did something really, really bad. I don't know what to do and I feel horrible. I'm wrong and there's just no excuse for what I did. And I don't even know what to say that's not just a really obvious thing about this disgusting, hateful person. I can appreciate appreciate someone owning that what they did was wrong, but it's after the fact. It's after the repercussions, after your face has been plastered everywhere being one of the most disgusting, hateful people out there. You want someone to learn and grow, but you watch the video and just the confidence in the racism. Like anytime anyone hits you with that stupid statement of like, there's not really even racism in this country anymore, boom, show them this video, just on the top of the stack. I bet Richard Spencer's watching this video going, that's a bit much. And so to end this, I just want to say, Harley, try just not to be a shit person anymore. Life has rightly smacked you in the face. Hopefully you can change and learn from it, not because you don't want to be smacked in the face again, but because you realize why it smacked you in the face in the first place. And then let's talk about the craziness around DACA, the proposed immigration bill, and the potential government shutdown in the United States. This has been a very confusing and chaotic week. So last Friday we covered that story where there were senators alleging that Donald Trump called African nations shithole countries that get Haiti out of there in relation to the deal. Since then we've had Republicans say that's not what he said, or at the very least I don't remember hearing him say that. At this point you have your opinion on it, so let's talk about what was actually happening. At that meeting you had the newest iteration of the Gang of Six. It's Senators Lindsey Graham, Dick Durbin, Jeff Flake, Michael Bennet, Cory Gardner, and Bob Menendez. And during that meeting they proposed an immigration bill that they thought met in the middle between what the president said he wanted and what Democrats wanted. Well, first up, what does President Trump want in his immigration bill? Well, in a meeting early last week, Trump was fairly clear with his demands. He wanted increased border security, including his wall, a removal of chain migration and the visa lottery program in favor of merit-based, and some form of protection for DACA recipients. And so the Gang of Six approached Trump last Thursday, and this is what they brought him. $2.7 billion in funding for border security improvements, eliminate the visa lottery system, make DACA permanent and give a pathway for citizenship, and put a slight limit on chain migration. The path to citizenship being a 10-year path, while the diversity lottery was effectively ended. Some of the annual 50,000 spots would be used for people in the country who have lost their TPS, temporary protected status, which affects several groups that we've talked about in the past 2 weeks, and some would be used for low immigration countries. The limit to chain migration is pretty minimal. Those in DACA wouldn't be allowed to bring their parents. That really only makes up around 3% of chain migration. Of that $2.7 billion in increased funding for the border, 1.6 of that is to start on a physical wall, or really a fence. But really we're just arguing semantics there and what we've heard from General Kelly and Donald Trump. And that number is only 10% of what Donald Trump wanted. And in response to that, the president and many Republicans were having none of that. They didn't think it went far enough, and over the weekend the president, the White House, and some Republicans just declared the bill dead. Now if you're wondering why, because it appears that in the Senate you have the numbers on your side. If you can get all the Democrats on board, which most likely you could, in the Gang of Six you have 3 Republicans, you have the numbers, but the Republicans have a much larger majority in the House of Representatives, and it looks like the bill would die there. Also reportedly, House Republicans were never consulted on this bill. And so throughout the week, Donald Trump has been having a field day on Twitter about this. I'll link to them all down below, but let's hit the highlights. He says the so-called bipartisan DACA deal was a big step backwards. Wall was not properly funded. Chain and lottery were made worse. USA would be forced to take large numbers of people from high crime. Because of the Democrats not being interested in life and safety, DACA has now taken a big step backwards. The Dems will threaten shutdown, but what they are really doing is shutting down our military at a time we need it most. Then on Sunday, he continued, DACA is probably dead because the Democrats don't really want it. They just want to talk and take desperately needed money away from our military. Then on Monday, he tweets, statement by me last night in Florida. Honestly, I don't think the Democrats want to make a deal. They talk about DACA, but they don't want to help. They are ready, willing, and able to make a deal, but they don't want to. They don't want security at the border. They don't want to stop drugs. They want to take money away from our military, which we cannot do. Then on Tuesday, saying we must have a great wall to help protect us, and saying the Democrats want to shut down the government over amnesty for all and border security. Then a report came out that General Kelly, Donald Trump's chief of staff, on Wednesday when talking to Democratic lawmakers, said that Mr. Trump had not been fully informed when promising voters a wall along the Mexican border last year, adding that he persuaded the president it was not necessary, also expressing optimism that a bipartisan immigration deal could eventually be reached, which seemingly then prompted the president to tweet today, "The wall is the wall. It has never changed or evolved from the first day I conceived of it. Parts will be of necessity see-through, and it was never intended to be built in areas where there is natural protection such as mountains, wastelands, or tough rivers or water. The wall will be paid for directly or indirectly or through longer-term reimbursement, or by my friend Philip DeFranco, he says he's good for it, and or by Mexico, which is a ridiculous $71 billion trade surplus in the United States. The $20 billion wall is peanuts compared to what Mexico makes from the US. NAFTA is a bad joke. We need the wall for safety and security of our country. If there is no wall, there is no deal." And so there's some stuff to unpack there. The first thing I want to hit on is when Trump's saying the Democrats don't really want DACA. They don't really want it. That's not what it appears is happening. Let me try and put it in simpler terms. There's a difference there. It's like saying the president of the United States doesn't actually want a bipartisan deal. He won't move on something, they won't move on something. Based on your built-in biases, you could argue it both ways. Also, on Donald Trump's note, government shutdown will be devastating to our military, something the Dems care very little about. It's true and not true based on your understanding of that statement. To quote Donald Trump from 2013, "Here's the truth, the government doesn't shut down, all essential services continue, don't believe lies." The military is considered an essential service and doesn't just shut down, right? It's essential because it could result in fatalities or impede national security. Keep in mind, that doesn't insulate every employee that's affiliated with the military. As one expert explained, if you are a uniformed service member or civilian employee that's doing some of the morale and welfare activity, you're not showing up to work. But how it could negatively affect our military is those people would not be getting paychecks. Unless, and it would just require our Congress to not be a shit show for just like a minute, the Senate would need to reapprove a bill they passed back in 2013, which ensures that members of the military still get paychecks in the event of a shutdown. And I just wanted to clarify this point for some people because I've seen a lot of misinformation on Twitter and Facebook. And so coming out of that, the Democrats are trying to use the federal funding bill as leverage. Because, oh, by the way, if Congress cannot pass a bill, just a short-term spending bill, the government's about to shut down. And essentially, we're looking at a situation where it looks like Democrats are going to say, we're not going to vote for this unless we can get something locked down for DACA, maybe disaster relief. And so now we're just waiting and watching to see what happens over the next 2 days. And we might be looking at a government shutdown just like we saw back in 2013. And in addition to just shutting everything down, most experts believe that it will be devastating to our economy. During the last time the government shut down, it was back in 2013. It was 16 days. According to an analysis from Standard & Poor, that cost the United States $24 billion. And so with all of that happy story said, it's a waiting game. And personally, what I'm interested in is seeing what the response is from the public. You know, who's happy their side's just sticking with what they want? How many people are going to see the Democrats as obstructionists, and how many people are going to see them just as standing by their beliefs? And so while we wait and see what the general public thinks, I pass the question off to you. What is your takeaway from this? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I'm trying to do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss these daily videos, which actually, if you did miss yesterday's show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want something lighter, you want to see the newest behind the scenes vlog, click or tap right there. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.